Hello and welcome everybody. It is 10:30 on a Sunday night. Welcome aboard another Untold Chronicles. It is episode 2 of Shadowless, our version of the Underdark. So let us get straight to it. Hopefully you can see me, you can hear, and we are good for it. As always, I want to say thank yous first. A big thank you to all our players, to everybody who is in chat and viewing. And we do this every time. A big thank you to Hero Forge as well. Hero Forge are very kind and gave us permission to use images from their website. Many of the character images are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures. Get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC product. So, as always, check them out. If you're not familiar with them, you can sort of customize your characters to the nth degree. It's absolutely amazing, and you do it in color now. So, want to say a big thank you to everybody in chat, and if you're watching on catch up either on Twitch, video on demand, or on YouTube, we really appreciate your support. But each of these Untold Chronicles, as we know, are only an hour and a half long, which is such a small amount of time for a role-play game. So we're going to jump straight into it. As I said, this is episode 2 of Shadowless. Story so far, the protagonists, our characters, have found themselves in a barter town, not relatively far from the surface, the place known as the Bright. This barter town is called Haggle, and they, after finishing a job, have managed to gather enough coin to stay in a very interesting tavern called the Final Rest. Haggle isn't a usual sort of underdark, shadowless town, though. It is a small enclave within the ruined city of Deep Gnomes. The owners of the Final Rest, seeing our protagonists as potential use to them, hired them to head into the ruins to seek out an unusual bloodstone that they believe is somehow attracting demonic entities. Our heroes agreed, cutting a deal, and they set off. It didn't take them long to find one of the abandoned mines that scatter the entirety of this city. Deep Gnomes very much renowned for their delving and their digging into places perhaps they should not have digged into. As they moved deeper into the small mine, they uncovered a chamber with some gems still ripe for plunder, but it would take time and noise to salvage them. They encountered a couple of demonic dog-like creatures called dretches. Dispatching them rapidly, they got caught out by an invisible winged demon, almost killing one of the characters. But because the attack wasn't over quick enough and fatal, this creature blinked out of sight and fled. We now find our players attempting to hunt it down, but how does one find something invisible in the dark? I guess we're about to find out. So, thank you for joining us. We will call up the map. Hopefully you can see all of this. There we go. And please, what is the thoughts going through your mind at the moment? I know that we are currently missing one of our players. He's having internet problems, but he will join us as soon as he possibly can. In the meantime, the three of you, how are you going to proceed? How are you going to try and hunt down this demon?
I think at the moment we're just taking a bit of a breather. This thing's kind of gone off down the corridor, and we've just kind of got together and collecting our thoughts.
Okay, this is fine. You find yourself in this small chamber. To the south, though, you can hear very fast running water. Other than that, though, this is a mine. The walls are rough hewn. There are obvious signs of chisel, mine pick marks, sort of slashing or had slashed at the wall. No sign of any more gems here, though.
I think you should scout ahead a little. Maybe into the next chamber.
Struck kind of looks and goes. He kind of takes a look at Skig and his wounds and goes, like, gulps and goes, okay then. Just one thing before he jumps ahead. I've got a note saying that we haven't actually searched this room at all yet.
I mean, you're more than welcome to give it a quick search if you want. I mean, I gave you a very quick description, but you are seeking an invisible ink. Invisible ink. Invisible. It's not even an imp, really. It's more of a quasit, I believe. It's most definitely demonic rather than fiendish, infernal. Yeah, I mean, give us an investigation. It's difficult to segue chapter 1s and chapter 2s mid exploration, but yeah, give us an investigation roll. Is one of you going to do that, or are you trying to do it as a group?
Struck would definitely be keeping an eye out and just kind of pointing, like seeing if anyone else is going to do it.
I won't investigate, but I will just keep an eye, kind of ready an attack on anything that comes out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If in case it pops out.
I see
Yeah,
that.
I'll do what Mercurio will be doing. Yeah.
I see that Struck has leapt into the corridor to sort of see if he can see anything. Remind me what the light levels are like here, because this is an odd one. This is shadowless. It is the Underdark, and certainly this mine is unlit. One is assuming you've all got dark vision, which lowers this down to dim light.
I think everyone except me has superior dark vision.
Okay, even better. So the superior dark vision, though, is still just dark vision, but 120 feet, isn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't do anything else. It's not quite like Devil's Sight, which we discussed at length last night in another game.
We do have dancing lights when we need it, if we do need to illuminate somewhere so we can see in more detail.
That's okay. I wasn't sure whether the dancing lights were still up or whether you have extinguished them for now.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, go on.
No, that was it.
No, I was just going to clarify. I think we've only got, certainly Struck only has 60 feet of dark vision.
Yeah. Okay.
And for Mercurius, is he lit up at the moment?
He can be, if you're all right with that. And if you're joking about it as a house rule.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the idea.
Cool.
Yeah, so I guess
5 and 5 of.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess if we're heading on, is that what we're doing?
I get the impression.
Do you want me to just have a quick look?
What? You?
I'm not going forward, but just to poke my head round because I can see a bit further in the dark. I'm not going first. I'm just going to stick my head round, and then if it doesn't come back, well, I was very silly. That's 20 foot that I can't see anything bad. You go.
Okay.
And we'll do it again at the next corner, and I'll poke my head out, and then you go.
So are you just moving forward, or are you attempting to creep forward?
Definitely creeping forward.
Okay. So
you want a stealth roll?
Yeah, well, I would like to see how successful you are with such a thing. I mean, that is good. That's impressive. So you can begin to move forward. Again, player's choice. You choose where you want to go on this map.
Yeah. So he's basically going to go until he can see. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty, isn't it? As you come round the corner, you see there's a wooden platform that's precariously along the southern side of this chamber. Across the way, you can both hear and see a waterfall gushing down a bottomless pit. The echo chamber here is unbelievable. It's really difficult to hear anything because the sound of the water crashing over the side of the chasm, crashing down, fills the chamber with unbelievable noise.
Struck kind of like leans back from the edge and just whispers to Skig, watch your step, mate. And then he'll, well, I mean, can he see anything at all? Any trace of anything?
Well, I mean, this thing is still possibly invisible. You also knew that it's got wings. I mean, it could literally be anywhere. It could be above you, below you, to one side. Give me a perception roll to see if you can detect anything. It's a disadvantage, though, because
Oh, sorry.
A, the creature is invisible, and B, the noise in this chamber, you're not going to hear the beating of leathery wings. So the 13 is not too bad.
I think, can I take my passive of 16?
Yeah, you stop and you just try and take in the sights, and no, you can't detect anything. I mean, you are a kobold. You know that this doesn't necessarily mean that there is nothing there. The other thing is the boards that you step out onto, you certainly determine they are damp and springy. One would say perhaps rotting or rotten.
Okay.
Fortunately, you are a light, small creature.
Okay.
Shall I go back and tell the others?
Yeah, I'll step back a bit and say, Mercurius might want to be careful on these boards.
Is there anything in there?
Yeah, there's some water and it's very noisy, and the only way across seems to be some springy, maybe rotten boards. But we can't, nothing else.
I'll head forward into the other room.
Okay. So yeah, so you move forward.
So can I see what's like? Is there an opening at the end of the walkway?
You squint, and with your dark vision, it looks like the end of the walkway kind of opens up into another tunnel. Can't be 100% sure at this angle. Maybe you want to lean out over the chasm to sort of maybe get a better angle on the view.
I mean, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
I mean, you could have one of your companions hold you and to give you a better angle on the view.
So I think what Struck is going to do is, so he's going to stay as close to the wall as possible, and he's going to gingerly walk around to that edge and just kind of checking that the board is safe as he goes.
Okay, it's difficult to sort of concentrate on two things at once. You can investigate to see whether the boards are safe as you kind of step across, or you can use acrobatics to ensure you are kind of dancing around and making sure you're not going to tip and fall. Which one would you prefer to do?
Probably more of an acrobatics thing of just making sure he steps lightly then.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you like to take a rope as well? I'll hand you the end of one.
It is a terribly long way down.
He
Hold it tightly.
he ties it onto his belt.
Okay. Have you got any ability in survival at all?
No.
Let us have a look at your survival, because I kind of working on. You've got +2. I'm kind of working on passive certain skills, so you don't do things just completely stupidly. Tying the rope to your belt. If you fall far enough, it might just cut you in half. It'll stop you falling until the belt itself either snaps or cuts you deep into the abdomen.
Rob is listening, and he says that if he's here, he's got Featherfall, which is
not entirely sure. I mean, Featherfall would be great, except it looks like a bottomless pit.
Yeah, we're in Shadowless. I mean, it is a very long way down. A Featherfall would, I mean, you just can't see the bottom. It might certainly help, and it's good to know. And obviously, yeah, the character is with you. You can give me a survival roll to see if you can make this into more of a harness, or you can tap it in if you've got pittons into the side and use it as kind of a handrail. But just simply tying it to your belt, it might give you a degree of help, but it's not necessarily the best way of doing it.
Okay.
I mean, if you're happy with just tying it to your belt, you can proceed. Do not worry. I feel as a GM, I've done full diligence in explaining the situation as your character might see it.
Full diligence in making us think twice.
Yeah. No, it's more a case of it perhaps is better to make a sort of harness out of it, or do it in a different way of just tying it to your belt.
Since Skig is trained in survival, he's happy to help. Also, two people making a harness might help more for the person doing it.
I mean, if you've got a climber's kit, for instance, that resolves it straight away.
I've got pittons.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that specifically says climber's kit.
So the pittons, you could tap into the wall and tie the rope to it, and you could easily make a handrail sort of along here, which would give you advantage on your movement across there.
Okay.
I may possibly need the assistance in this regard.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that then. We'll do pittons in the wall.
Okay. So give me. You said you wanted to use acrobatics rather than investigation. So give me an acrobatics roll. You're kind of setting this out as you go, so you have advantage on the roll as you are making this.
Okay.
Okay. Thank God for the rope. Dropped the 2.
A 4 and a 2.
Combination of your small size, I've taken that into account, and the fact that you've got the rope and that you're using acrobatics and sticking close to the side, you get to about here and your foot sort of almost goes through one of the boards. Fortunately, your light weight saves you. It's not so much trapped, It's quite precarious. You catch your breath, hold on to the rope a little bit more, carry on tapping the pitons in, and you get to here, and you see that there is indeed a tunnel heading south.
Okay. As soon as I've kind of tapped in the last one, I will jump in here and basically press myself against the wall.
Okay.
And wait for someone else to follow.
Perfect. Okay, who wants to go next?
Gig,
I
do you
will.
want to go next?
No, not really, but I will, because
Yeah.
let's get this done.
Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. You can investigate. You can be looking at the boards and trying to decide which one's solid and which one isn't. Or you can just hold on to the rope and stay close to the side and use either acrobatics to tip lightly. I mean, that is probably best. You're not really doing anything athletic.
Yeah, I think Skig will do that. Use acrobatics and holding on to the rope as much as he can.
You have advantage because the rope is across there. Natural 20. That is a critical success. So as you begin to move across, it's relatively easy for you, and you definitely see that one of the boards here is very bad. You have the choice if you want to, in effect, kick it through. It's not going to make it difficult. People that wouldn't need to jump, but it just means it's very obvious that do not step here.
Curious, there's a really dodgy board here. Shall I just kick it through so you can see?
Please.
He'll kick it through.
A critical success allows you to sort of stamp on it, and it's so sodden with water it doesn't make a huge noise or anything, and it just does that horrible sogginess of breaking, and it's obvious now where trouble is. Very good.
As soon as Skig appears at this entrance, Struck will just have a quick peek round to see what he can see in this.
Okay, you can see
next bit.
a little chamber. There is a very old wooden pulley system which was constructed around a large hole in the floor. A big bucket, big enough to hold a humanoid, is held by a kind of frayed, thick rope. There are 3 alcoves next to the lift containing wooden boards and mining equipment, all old and covered in spider webs and the like.
Andy,
yeah.
Can we have is there any way for us to estimate how much rope there is up here if it's currently up, if you see what I mean, from how much is coiled round?
Yeah, you've not used a huge amount of it. I mean, it's probably maybe used 30 feet so far.
No, I mean around the, what you call it, what Stuck is seeing.
No, it descends downwards basically.
But it's got rope attached to it.
Yeah.
And can we have a rough estimate from how much rope we can see, how far it'll go down? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you think that it descends probably a good sort of 40 feet downwards.
Cheers.
I would wait for people to return back to the entrance before I try and cross.
Okay.
So you don't just hear a cracking noise and
then nobody knows what happened
like,
to Mercurius. You are feeling confident, sir.
Fine. Skig will poke his head round and give a thumbs up. That was the only one.
All right. So I will try and cross this thing.
Okay. So it's the same. You've got the rope. It's firmly done very nicely. You're holding on to the rope, and the boards do sort of crack. You're not massively heavy, are you? You're a fire
I'm
genasi.
pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I'm not like a Goliath.
No, exactly. You're not like a centaur or a Goliath or
No.
a bugbear. So
Correct.
so it's just an advantage with you I'm assuming you're being cautious, but athletics.
I would like to use. I can use athletics, or
well, it
if you're all right with
kind
athletics.
of needs to be acrobatics. So you're not really climbing or using your strength at the moment.
I'd prefer to use investigation if that's all right.
Yeah, you can
I'm
definitely
happy
use
to.
investigation instead,
Cool.
as you're kind of just testing each of these boards. Again, critical success. So you do notice there are one or two other boards that are very dodgy as well. That it was lucky that neither of your companions stepped upon. And you can sort of point those out or mark those out or kick those out as well without destabilizing the sort of platform.
Excellent.
Okay. And you've made it. Yeah, that was a successful roll again.
It's moving me funny.
Yeah, it's because it's a smaller map and you need to kind of really be zoomed in. So you find your way across here. I'm going to give, because I'm a fantastic GM, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And Cross is okay as well. Hopefully, Rob can join us.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I was waiting on Fantasy Grounds to load.
Okay, we will wait for you to get across, and then you can make a roll. Hopefully, you won't plummet to your death. Okay, so
can I get the map reloaded, Andy? I think that's the only thing I'm missing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are with us now. Welcome back, Digland. I think you heard everything on Discord anyway, didn't you? How would you like to proceed? You can use acrobatics with advantage or investigation with advantage as well, because you've got the rope to hold on to.
I think I'm a better investigator. So yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. It's been made progressively easier and easier as the boards have been kicked through by your companions. Yeah, easily enough as you manage to sort of move round to here. Okay. So you are all safely in this single corner here. Let us zoom in so everybody can view this. There is this circular chamber descending maybe about 40 feet down to the next level. The question is what would you like to do?
What I would like to do now, if it's okay, in this room is use my divine sense to see if there are any demons in the room.
Okay, you kind of
60 feet.
reach. Does this have any particular cinematic effect? How does it manifest?
Unlike pretty much every other dark vision, fire genasi dark vision is red because it gets filtered through the elemental plane of fire. So I guess you can kind of see energies kind of wisping around, almost like you can't say exactly where they are, but it's almost kind of a little bit predatory.
Predatory, lovely.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. So you there's nothing here. Your best bet is it maybe have descended lower. It didn't look like it was particularly happy being spotted. So yeah, you're confident that it's not lurking here.
Cool.
Because the last thing you want to do is start descending down and find it severing the rope or anything like that.
Quite.
What kind of abyssal creature would do such a thing? Unfortunately, it is one at a time to descend down here. You can choose other methods of going down, but the bucket is by far the safest and obvious way down.
In terms of size, because Struck's quite small, and I'm guessing Digland is also quite small. Would we be able to fit in where like one person might?
The simple answer is it's not designed for two small sized creatures due to the fact that this is a deep gnome mine. That's why everything is so small and tight. Whilst it's not designed to do that, you think that in the past, maybe impatient deep gnomes have gone down two together, sort of one in the bucket, one precariously on the rim of the bucket holding the rope. It should hold the weight. It's just that both of you couldn't fit in the bucket.
Right.
So you could chance it.
And this might be a daft question, but does the crank, does that require someone to be up here to operate it?
No, it's basically seems to be some quite cleverly gnomish automation. It's very basic, but both are going up and down. It seems that it will lower you down automatically on kind of like a ratchet system. And then at the bottom, you've probably got some kind of device that you can either release it or wind it back up to the top should you need to. So,
Just hoping.
so it, as far as you're aware, just kind of a simple look. It seems to function in both directions.
I can look over the machinery if it looks old, just to make sure that it's going to work still. We don't know when this mine closed a long time ago, didn't it?
Absolutely. Did you want to move forward and give it a look?
Yeah, I can do.
Okay, so you move forward. What skill would you like to use for this?
I guess it'd just be investigation.
Okay. You're not an artificer or anything, are you? Have you got tinkerer's tools or anything like that?
No.
No. Okay.
Understanding whether it is broken, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is a knowledge-based role, so instantly nothing bad is going to happen. But it'll be interesting to see what you notice. Give us an investigation roll. Yeah, you kind of look it and you kind of move it and sort of you think it's functioning still. You do the basics, you check the rope, and whilst the rope is frayed, it doesn't look in any danger of snapping or crashing you down here. It doesn't really look like the lift has been used in a while. Whatever is moving up and down isn't using the lift.
So it could do with a bit of oiling and stuff, but it'll be serviceable for now.
Shall I head down first? Create an entry point.
That sounds good to me.
By all means.
Yeah.
I'll get in the bucket.
Excellent stuff.
Be sure to shout if you get stabbed.
Looks at you.
So you get into the bucket and you begin to crank it down. It's fairly active. I mean, there's just you in the bucket. It's been designed to use this. There's no skill check. The bucket winds you down and you descend. It takes not particularly long. It takes perhaps maybe 18 seconds or half a minute to descend down, and you find yourself here. You might have to click on your character to see the map. You can see that here you're in the bucket. You can step out. There's a passageway that goes to the northeast and southwest. You listen out and you can hear the sounds of water again falling from the northeast.
Sorry, when you say click on my character.
Yeah, if you can't see the map, if everything's black, if you just click on your token, you should be able to see.
I double clicked on it and it's still all black.
Your actual token.
The window is completely black for me. I don't see my token.
Okay.
This is the gem mine level 2 player map.
Yeah, you should be on that. Boom, boom, boom. You should just try and click on it once. Try and reshare it again. If you can't see for the moment, don't worry. I'm not going to attack you. But you should, if you click on your token, be able to see it. You might have to close the other map down maybe, so it doesn't get conflicted. Okay. You crank, I'm assuming, either the lift from below or above. Do you who does that? It's okay, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this.
I'm guessing I probably have the most strength at the top, if it's like that kind of base.
I mean, this is automated, so it's not going to really require any skill check. You just need to click it and it will do the job.
I can say it now, Andy.
Excellent.
All right. Yeah, so, I'll happily do that.
So another half a minute, 30 seconds, and the bucket kind of rises up. In the meantime, I'm curious, are you going to explore, or are you just keeping watch here and waiting for...
I'm just keeping watch here. I am not that adventurous.
Okay, no, that is absolutely fine. So who wants to go down next?
I'll go down.
Yeah, Skig, maybe you should go, with it being kind of you're the most unhealthy and yeah.
I can see further just in case.
Okay, so you get into the bucket and it's cranked and you begin to descend down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do this instead. I'm going to actually delete your token. You have been deleted. And then I'm going to put it from the combat tracker onto there. So hopefully you can click on your token and I'll share that map with you again and you should be able to see your thing. Okay, I'm assuming you crank it back up again. The bucket rises. It's making kind of a large noise now, and there are sparks. It's like this hasn't been oiled in a long time, and it seems that continual use is beginning to wear at it. Who wants to go next with the sparking bucket?
I guess use then, Struck. If it is going to fail, at least I have a way down.
Should we just go down together?
We can try.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so who's going to be in the bucket and who's going to be holding on?
Probably Digland in the bucket and Struck holding on.
Okay, so it begins to crank down. You lean across and pull the crank and you begin to descend down. Because you're holding on, it's not too difficult, but I'm gonna roll a dice to see if there's any complications. The chances of complications are slight. Oh. Wow, thank you very much for the subscription, Professor. Really appreciate it. The good news is that sub has saved you. It hasn't really, but it was the 12 rolled at the dice. But we will say a big thanks to Professor and say that you stopped anything tragic happening there. Sub away, save the players, sub away, or give me re-rolls. to make the player's life a misery. To be fair, I don't really need it. Okay, so I'm just playing around with these maps again because it's why do I choose the fiddly list of maps to use? So hopefully with all that multiple clicking and everything else, you can move around now and you can see things.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You are on level 2. You can see this chamber, and I say to the north you can hear the gushing of water to the north. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that's an awkward one because that is a Mercurius subscribing. It feels bad for me to give you a reward for subscribing, but
No. You get the reroll.
I get the reroll. Oh wow! Oh wow! This is going to be interesting then. So to the north, you see that there is this chamber. There's a hole in the west side of this chamber that opens on to the central shaft. You can't quite see it where you are, Stig, but you can, or Skig, you can though hear the roaring of water from it. The floor to the north end of the cave is 5 feet higher than the south end, and there's a rocky ridge separating them. The slope leading to the top of the ridge. The walls, once again, though, gleam with gem deposits. You can see more gems. Similar to the other chamber that you encountered above. Seems this mine wasn't fully exhausted.
This is better than I thought. Maybe it will be a good place to stake a claim if we want to.
Wonder whether that bloodstone has been here for a long while or whether it's recent. So why the
Yeah.
now?
But if we get rid of it to those people, then the demons that want it might go with them.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I'm going to move forward to here.
Yeah. So as you kind of look around here, you see that there is another. You basically look in and you basically see there is a disgusting sight of some terrible looking creatures. I can't unfortunately auto get them onto the map. There is a writhing mass of sort of pink and purple flesh. The creatures look like this. But they seem to not be paying attention. They haven't really heard, or they haven't been drawn to the sound of the bucket coming down, and they're kind of there, and they kind of are piled on top of each other, each of them trying to climb on top, as it's kind of this loathsome writhing mass of abyssal flesh.
I'll hold up a hand gesture in the kind of stay back to everyone else, and then point and say that there's enemies over there. Not talking.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. It is a plain and simple orgy of abyssal flesh just writhing in a mass, and you can make out 6 of these bloated individuals amongst this mass. It is, though, blocking the way forward.
I'll look back at everyone, see whether we're ready to engage.
Yeah, is that the only way?
I guess I'll move here, see whether it is. Yep.
Yeah,
Unless there's one up that way.
it looks much like a dead end. You've kind of only scantily looked into the northern chamber. You could go in there and have a proper look if you wanted to.
I'll go and have a look. You keep an eye on them things.
All right.
Stroke will kind of follow Skig a little bit.
Cheers.
Okay. As you go into the chamber, Skig, can you give me a perception roll, please? Okay. Can you roll another perception roll, please? Not that I'm asking you to roll it at disadvantage for any reason at all. But I'm not liking that 15.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, I've got a button. You could just make me press that.
Yeah, but if I'd said, can you roll it at disadvantage, it might give you the clue that there might be something in there, or it might be playing with you. Obviously, Struck, you are saying that you are following at a distance, but keeping an eye out. Now that the cat is out of the bag, maybe, can you give me a perception roll at disadvantage as well, please?
Okay.
Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. You don't notice anything at all.
So
Cool.
from where I am, the only way out of here is to the west.
Yeah, from looking here, you can see that there is this chamber to the west, and that's where you can hear the rushing of water. You don't know if there's any sort of secret passageways or sort of tunnels that you might have missed, but at a plain look, there is this area here that has gemstones in this area here, and beyond that, it's looks like a dead end apart from this passageway here.
Give me a minute. Let's have a look and see what's through here, and stand and look through with his 120-foot dark vision. Can he see the source of the water?
Yeah, you kind of get sort of sprayed. This central shaft is obviously the one that was from above, and you can kind of get a little bit of angle looking up. So you would presume, you can't quite see it from there, but you would presume that the waterfall from above is the same thing, making the same water noise.
Yeah.
Stroke will kind of whisper, "Does it look all right?"
Yeah. What can I actually see? That darker area just past the. I'm not moving, Andy. I'm just moving to show you where I'm aiming. Oh, actually, I can do the arrow thing.
Yeah, you can do arrows.
Or can I?
If you depress both mouse buttons and drag, it draws you a nice arrow.
All right. Oh no, don't move, Skig.
You seem to be nervous. What's?
I'm on 4 hit points. I've already created a new character, so you know I'm sorted.
Got another step closer to the edge.
This bit here, is that this darker bit beyond where I've pointed looks a different colour?
Yeah,
And
it's probably the edge of the cavern where it sort of falls down. You're not obviously moving, but I'm gonna kind of sort of put you there. Can you see that chamber below? Or is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It was just seeing it looked like the same colour as the abyss, but I just wanted to check whether that.
No, it's just basically the edge, the lip of the cavern as it descends down into this area here.
Right. It looks like there's another cavern that way. Nothing that nasty so far, though.
Okay, but this looks like a dead end.
Hang on, I'll just look. And he'll have to go up to the edge there. Does it look like this is all solid that he's looking in front of him? It's just another cavern.
This is not a cavern. Sorry, I'm not explaining it. This here is a drop.
Yeah,
it's part of the cylinder, the drop into the abyss.
that's what I figured it was. So basically, that's a big circular drop.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
And the
cool.
waterfall is here, splashing down.
Gotcha.
That you can see it now from above. And as you from there, you can kind of look upwards. And when you look upwards, you kind of see sort of maybe 40, 50 feet up along here is the platform that you walked across. Yeah, you're kind of looking up at the top of it.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like this is the underneath bit from that platformy thing we went over, Struck. So
Wow.
this is where we would have plummeted down if it weren't for you and your rope.
Okay, let me tell the others. And Struck will kind of.
Well, I'm coming with you.
Okay.
I am really worried about that little square just to the northeast. It looks exactly like the place where he got stabbed up last time. So he's not standing next to that. I know it probably isn't, but it just looks all same sort of glittery stuff. So
And then Struck will kind of whisper to the other two and say, "This chamber back here looks empty. Maybe we could lure them in so we're not in in a really tight space."
Possibly.
And
If we charge them here, we've got to line the proper bottleneck.
That's true. But yeah.
pardon me. All good.
But we can try and lure them into that chamber. If you prepare, I will draw their attention and then run.
Okay, so that's giving you options maybe to back up into the chamber and prepare some actions, maybe. Up to
Hey,
you.
Struck,
okay.
we could go up on that high bit and get them from there.
Yeah, if we maybe if we stay here until he's actually caught them, and then because then we're nearby to help if he needs it, and then when he comes pegging it around the corner, we can just leg it out and then get ourselves ready.
No, I
Okay.
draw them from here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you should head back a little bit so I've got distance to run into.
Okay, right. Let's go then.
Okay, so prepare yourselves wherever you want. So who's going to stand next to that chamber? Well, it looks like Diggle
Well-
is.
We'll warn them about the abyss to the west.
Yeah, it's obvious. Okay,
Yeah.
so you get into position up there. Is there any actual actions you want to hold, or any spells or things that you want to cast in preparation?
Struck's just going to have an arrow ready to let loose at the first sign of something that isn't Mercurius.
So we can say that you are currently holding a shot. How about you, Digland?
Firebolt.
Okay, so you're holding that as a cantrip. It's not a problem. Sorry, did you want to be there, or do you want to be there? Which my OCD is kicking in.
I'll be there.
Yeah, perfect. And are you holding any kind of action?
An Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, perfect. Another cantrip, so it doesn't really matter how long it's going to take. You can be holding this. Okay.
Can he just poke it? Can he just briefly poke in the wall behind him? You see that little half alcove behind him?
Yeah.
And give it a quick poke and make sure nothing appears to be there. And then he'd like to have his back against it, if that's all right.
So you really squeeze in. You're getting paranoid about these little crevices and cracks.
He is. You did it. It was very effective last time.
Okay. Doesn't appear to be anything there at the moment. So it is fundamentally over to you, Mercurius. What are you going to do?
I will sheath my longsword and then conjure up flame within my hand, and I'll produce flame at them.
Very nice. So yeah, target one of them, whichever one you want. Main number 2. Give us an attack roll. Oh, very nice. So you definitely hit.
The damage is 4.
Okay, you
Unless
see
they're
that
immune to fire, which they could be.
they're not immune. I think you can see that, but they are resistant as it strikes it, and it kind of reacts. And the whole mass begins to sort of writhe and move, and it's definitely, you've got its attention now, you've caused it pain, and it is either going to go away from the pain or towards the pain, and you hold your breath for a moment, and yeah, it's going to squeeze towards the pain. But you have the rest of your turn ahead of you, so what would you like to do?
Move 30 foot that way. So that's 15 to there.
Yeah.
And then another 15 to there.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay.
I'm assuming no bonus actions.
No, not
Okay, so to make this work now, we're just going to get everybody to roll initiatives, but you've obviously got held actions as well. So roll those. Yeah, that's fine. So looks good to me. So at the top of the round, it is Struck. You might be on mute, Struck.
No. He's just continuing to hold an action.
Yeah, that's absolutely legitimate. Digland.
Same, continuing hold fireball.
Okay, number 4 has got this very slow move. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. As it slimes and sloops its way round. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20. These are also double moving, so it shows that they're going quite slowly, but there is hatred in what they are doing. Skig.
Skig will continue to hold his action.
Okay. And number 5 is just going to move to there, and Mercurius.
I will draw my longsword and brace myself behind my shield.
Okay, very good. And then okay, then we move to the top, and it's Struck.
Same again, just holding.
Okay, and Digland holding. Yep.
Yeah.
And then number 4, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, 40. So at this point, all of your held actions can go off if you want. We're going to do it in initiative order because they don't have huge amounts of hit points. So you might want to not shoot this one and shoot a different one with held actions. So Struck, you were holding an action.
Yep,
So
definitely just.
You get to do what you want to do. These things are terrifying at this level. You really want to get them fast.
Yeah. Let me just find out. Ooh.
It's okay. It's still a hit. They
Okay.
are slow-moving blobs of abyssal flesh. One day, these things will be Baelors. Be careful of you upsetting them.
Just a minor question. Would I get sneak attack?
You would, yeah. It's next to an ally, so you wouldn't have advantage, but you've got sneak attack. Yeah, absolutely. Them's the rules.
I have to roll it separately on here, don't
It's okay. I can. So you do that, and you can. So yeah, you've done a d6 plus 3, and just roll another d6 for your sneak.
D6.
Yeah. So that is going to be enough as you easily take that one down, and it forms a puddle of demonic ichor. So number 3 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Does a similar sort of thing. Now, Struck, you have had your held action. Digland, you get to have your held action if you want to use it.
Yeah, I'll throw the firebolt.
Yeah. Once again, a 5 on the dice, but that is good enough. Sad times, though. It is resistant to fire, as you don't do enough to finish it off. But Skig, you was holding an action.
Yeah.
Do you want it to trigger?
Yes, please.
So,
Sorry, it's just
okay, I wasn't sure whether I'd lost internet then. Everything went very
No.
quiet.
no. It's suddenly realizing that it's got the wrong stat in. But
That's
fine.
okay. No, feel free to modify it so it is correct.
That's right. So
So you do indeed hit with an ill wind.
yeah, so that's his Eldritch Blast thing.
Yeah, and boom, that explodes it into Demon Ichor as well. And we move to this. It's like fish in a barrel at the moment. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Now, Mercurius, you were holding an attack action.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Okay, so you can trigger that now.
So this would be. Oh no, that was with advantage. It shouldn't be with advantage. I don't know why it's with advantage.
It's okay. The 5, the lowest, would have hit anyway. So feel
Okay.
free to do your damage.
So that is.
And that's enough to take that one down. And then this one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Again, double moves to here, but can't do anything. And then we move to Skig. Seems that your tactics have worked well, which is good because these are truly terrifying creatures when they get close. Skig, what would you like to do?
Was it my go? I thought. Oh,
That was a held action, I believe, previously.
right.
Yes.
He will do the same again.
You still hit.
Ooh.
Not enough to finish it off, though.
He would like to use a bonus action.
Yep.
And he will. His eyes will roll back a bright blue, and there will be a feeling of wind and waves and sea. And in front of the creature just to the left, the ground appears to ripple and undulate as if it was water, and then from there a large spectral tentacle will appear.
Oh, fancy.
And strike at it.
Yep.
So
this is your special spiritual weapon thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the undersea patron thing.
Very nice.
So I've set this up because I don't know how to set this up as a ranged weapon.
Yeah, it's fine as long as it does the modifiers. It's fine.
Yeah. So it's got.
This is it kind of like a sort of kraken's tentacle, or is it?
Yeah, big kraken's tentacle with barbs surrounding it.
Of course, needs to have barbs.
All the best ones have barbs.
So 11 plus 5, 16 hits.
And then this is cold damage, Andy.
Okay, now they are resistant to cold, so roll it and then I will remodify it. So it would have done 5, so it would only do 2, so it gets 3 back.
So the tentacle is in the square, sort of to the east, northeast of it.
This one, this square here.
Can't see a line at the moment.
Okay,
Yes, that one. Sorry.
perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then we move to main number 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's about all it can do there. And then we move to Mercurius.
Let's try and hit main one. Stop it getting by. Is this a beat?
Oh, that is easily a hit. Actually, that is a critical hit.
Okay.
Because we're using the new homebrew rules, and if you
Yeah.
beat its armor class by 10 or more, this counts as a critical. So feel free to do
I can
what.
already tell this is going to be fun for paladins.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you double damage again?
I think that I can't remember.
Okay.
I genuinely can't remember. So just roll. You exceeded by 2 points there. Roll it again, because you would have got that. That's one. Okay, it was a critical, but it destroys it anyway as that one goes down. And then we move to Struck.
Yeah, he's going to attack the one that's left,
Mhm.
and he should get pack tactics.
Yep, Pat Tactics works at range for some reason.
And then
If only my wolves had ranged weapons.
Wolves with bows.
So the same goes for you. This is a critical hit, Strook.
oh, so that's going to be 3d6.
Yeah. And with that critical hit, with its low armor class, it is easily enough to destroy it. Those were terrifying creatures. I know they didn't seem particularly fine, but your tactics paid off there. They've only got +2 to attack, but they would have each been doing 2d4 slashing damage. So if someone had stupidly jumped into the middle of them, that would have been horrific. But congratulations on your tactics there. It saved the day, and being cautious in the Shadowless is critical, as it uses meat grinder rules as well. It is a payoff, but you have cleared that chamber. This chamber now is full of demonic ichor, strange flesh scattered around this as they each exploded. But it seems that you have cleared the way once again. Yep, you kind of look and you see that this is the chamber descending down into the darkness with the waterfall by the side of it. Mercurius.
Where now?
This from the surface.
Sorry, what was that, Digland?
So where now? Are we going back through where those came from?
Yes. And I'll head off.
Okay. So you begin to move round. Absolutely. Yeah, that chamber is now sort of empty. As you can see, and it kind of wound around. You see there's some branches. All of this area has attempted to be mined.
There's a fork in the road up here.
I'll just look into that little cubby hole off to the side.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing visible in there. Did you want to swing your sword about and give me a perception roll if you really want to have a proper look?
I'll have a few chops. Why not? This would be...
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm sure it'd be disadvantaged, but anyway.
Yeah. You can't see anything in there. You are jumping at shadows.
Mhm.
Maybe. Okay, where to next?
So were those creatures in here for any particular reason?
They were having some kind of abyssal orgy.
Seem to be enjoying themselves.
You can give me either be an arcana or nature roll, I guess.
I'm averaging both.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
15.
So you kind of recognize them. You've heard tales of them, and they are foul. They are fundamentally the building blocks of demons. Demons don't breed. They are amalgamations of destroyed and recycled spawning things, and it is possible for such a writhing mass of relatively powerless individuals to merge and combine and mold into much more powerful demons. You think that they were in some kind of abyssal conflagration of merging and molding into a much more powerful thing. You stopped it just in time. So,
Cool.
That's pleasant.
I guess we'll press on then.
indeed.
One less demon in the world, and the world's a better place.
Well, with your 15, you know all you've done is sent it back to the abyss for it to be respawned. And if one of those things eventually becomes a Baylor, it's got a very long memory. But the lifespan of a kobold is very short.
Strook's pretty sure he'll be dead by then, so it's fine.
I'll be dead in the next 20 minutes.
Indeed. Yeah, so
Yeah. Shall I take up the lead again?
Please, I think you're probably the hardest to hit out of us.
Easiest to hit, maybe.
Sure.
And then I'll head down.
yeah,
And Strook will kind of follow up as well.
okay. So again, it seems to be a dead end to the west.
And then to here.
Dead end to the west, but the tunnel that is bearing round to the east actually begins to descend down into yet another chamber. Because the drop off, because the angle of it, you can only see to here. You would have to get to there to look downward into the next chamber.
Then I will do that.
As you do, I'm going to show you what you see. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to we have Mercurius first, and then we have Strook, and then we have, I believe, and then we have Diggle. So hopefully I can share you that map, and hopefully you can all see that map.
Yep.
It sort of winds down into another chamber. You can see another wooden platform. You can see a rope crossing, and you can see the waterfall sort of coming down.
Really not fond of all these platforms.
It makes it worse as there seems to be a very small rope stretched between the two platforms here.
If I poke your head out, can you see another way round? Like, the only way is across the rope, right? That's...
You can kind of see to the west another tunnel, but you're not quite sure where that leads.
Struck will say, "Do you want me to do the rope thing again?"
If you wouldn't mind doing the honours.
Do you want me to kind of squeeze through just in case you do fall?
Oh, okay.
Kind of mind.
Right. So I think because of the distance of the other one, Struck's probably got about half his rope left, which would kind of do this stretch. So he's going to do the same thing again.
Okay. That is absolutely fine. So what you're going to do, just make a pathway along this wall here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you move forward. Give me exactly the same an acrobatics roll, but at advantage as you knock these.
Acrobatics advantage.
Yeah. Wow. Dropped the one, which would have been a critical fail. So you do manage to get across to here, putting the rope. Which starter pack did you have, Digland? And we can add that to you. What should your starter pack be?
I don't remember. I was just going to look it up.
Yep, cool. Let me know once you are done. So the rope is set up. You can see this other side, that this tunnel sort of peters off. You can see a passageway to the north and south, and it bends round to the sort of northwest.
I guess if the pittons are in, shall I try going next? All right. So I will do that, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Pittons are in. This will be. Is this with advantage again, or is it?
Yes, this will be with advantage as you are now holding onto the rope. Yep, dropping that too. Very good. This is another time. Yeah, you can move either into that chamber further or stay there. Either.
I'll move past him as we.
Yeah. And then we move to Digland.
Skig, do you want to go so I can keep watch just in case you fall?
Yeah. That would be great. Thank you. And he will do. Is it acrobatics again, Andy?
Acrobatics or investigation, either to see if you can move round. But with advantage because you've pittoned, you've been very cautious. I'm loving this cautiousness of the Underdark. So yeah, you easily make it across again.
Scholars, Andy.
Sorry, say again.
Scholars.
Scholars items, scholars kit. Let's have a look. That is wrong because it should be a H, not a. There we go. And we'll choose the player's handbook.
Nerds pack.
There we go. So you have all of that now. Very useful whilst traversing a mine is a scholar's kit. Every adventurer should have one. Especially, what would you like to do? Oh, everybody's asking for stuff now. Look at this.
Throw ink. Yeah, could you throw ink around the room?
It's not necessarily a bad idea.
Don't pour your ink first chance you get out of the kit.
It's like a budget fairy fire.
Yeah. There we go.
Like, what the hell, guy? That'll take so long to get out.
Just a minor point, Andy. I've removed the rope and the pittons from my inventory.
Yeah, good. Well done. I like that. Running out of resources. and it's the Shadowless. Okay, Digland, what on earth are you trying to do? What are you going to do?
Carefully getting across this thing, I guess.
Okay, and what skill would you like to use?
Investigation again.
Yeah, that's okay. Just checking the floor, making sure it's safe. Every step could plunge you treacherously down.
Your advantage.
Yes, absolutely. You're holding onto the rope. It sounds strange, but the rope is giving you support, so you can definitely see. Yeah, you make it across, no problem.
He fancies tightrope walking that gap then, no?
Well,
Well, I think we'll just have a look through this bit first and see where this goes.
Just throwing the option out there.
So we're actually intending to walk across that thing.
well, it pretty much, as you begin to explore this area, looks like that is the only way forward. Of course, you could forgo the reward, judge it's far too dangerous and leave. Return empty-handed. No one's forcing you to make the crossing.
Struck will just say, well, you know what they say, in for a copper, in for gold. And he'll, I guess.
I would ask, are you planning to take, you've been so careful taking many precautions, are you going to take any precautions in the most dangerous part?
Struck.
Yeah, he wasn't just going to like
That's
I
okay.
don't know, try and like
In for a
circus
penny.
tent his way across.
In for a pound, I charge! Ah.
Why don't I make this rope that I've got into a little circle that we'll put around the rope that's going across, and then if we loop it a bit so it's a bit shorter and tie it around you, then if you do fall, the rope is holding onto the rope, unless there's anything else to hold it onto.
No, there's just the rope, unfortunately.
As much as I want to keep you
Can we
safe,
have an agreement though? If one of us falls, we're all falling. I don't want to separate.
I agree with the principle of the thing.
I mean, I'm going to help.
However-
Yeah, we all get it. If one of us falls in the pit, we all get in the pit.
All right.
I think
Cast the spell quickly.
one of you is going to have to push me because I really don't feel I want to step out into that pit. But I'm happy to be pushed. He says, peering down into the fathomless pit.
We don't fall off, but
Do our utmost. All right, Struck.
All right, let's do it then.
Okay. So, Skig, make me some kind of harness or whatever with this rope. So, survival roll, really, if that's what you are offering, to give a degree of protection from falling into this bottomless pit.
Would Struck be able to use his sleight of hand expertise to make sure that the nuts are really tight?
Absolutely. So how would you like to do this, you two? Describe to me who's doing what and who wants to make what rolls. Do you want Skig to make the harness and then for you to double check it? Strook, is that the plan?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. So you go first. Survival roll. For it's impossible to check something that hasn't been made.
Oh, that didn't even roll. Sorry.
It's okay.
Ooh, dear.
Right, well, you fashion something,
Little thing.
and it kind of goes over. It's maybe a little loose, designed for sort of slightly bigger creature, But fortunately, because you want to double check this, feel free to use your sleight of hand, because
Ooh.
I mean, we are level 1, you know, and in my homebrew rules, I am saying that ability checks are scaled now. So a 14 isn't a bad roll, and you kind of check it. You think that this is about as best as it could be, really.
Cool.
I mean, you are going to be hanging, you know, it's not the best. You don't particularly want to put it to the test. Now, you do have a choice here. You have a choice between acrobatics and athletics. One is literally balancing on the rope. The other one is using your strength to sort of monkey bar it. What would you like to do?
It's definitely going to be acrobatics. He's a small and nimble creature.
Okay. This sounds good. Okay, give it a go.
Okay, so he attaches the harness, makes sure it's nice and tight.
Yeah.
And then he legs it across the rope.
Legs it.
Yeah.
Or goes very cautiously.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like tiptoey, keeping his balance.
Okay. So give us a roll. Very good. As you get to this point, though, can you give me a perception check at disadvantage?
Oh, disadvantage. Wonder why this might be.
Because if you're going to attack somebody from being invisible, doing it while they are trying to balance on a rope. Oh, I can't do this. Yeah, don't worry about me. You get to here and you succeed to cross it, and then that triggers, and I'm going to roll this, and you just in time manage to see this thing strike at you as it blinks into existence. Your perception, seeing him just in time. He does get surprise on. Well, he doesn't get surprise. He does get to attack you, but not with advantage as he attempts to claw you. Oh, and he hits. 6 points of damage, and this is the killer. Can you give me a... Oh no, I have to make you make it. Constitution saving throw. Oh no! Look at that. Success, success, success. You don't take the extra 2d4 damage. Can everybody roll initiatives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Oh, poo.
Oh,
Yeah. Struck and Mercurius. We need some initiatives. And they
No,
need to be good.
I got an initiative 0.
Oh, you literally got a 0.
Yes.
I will put you in at 1. Oh dear,
Yeah.
Struck.
I broke the system by being so bad at initiative.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. Struck goes first and Ziz goes second. So, without further ado, Struck, what would you like to do?
So can I, like, is it now visible now?
It's now
attacked
totally
me?
visible, yeah. It's no longer invisible.
I am going to
Grapple it, drop it.
grapple it and jump off the edge. No, I'm going to take out my stabby thing and attempt to stab it.
Okay. Give us a roll.
Yeah.
Oh, there can be no arguing with that. Wow, if there was ever a time for a critical hit, it is at 11:59. You unfortunately weren't targeting it, but 11 points of damage is easy enough to destroy that creature. As in one instant it blinks out of invisibility, strikes at you, tries to poison you, and you draw your rapier and drive it through. And like the rest of the demonic creatures, it is sucked through back to the abyss. And that is where we will leave it in this session. For there is much more to explore. Maybe, maybe not. Well, thank you very much, players. I hope you enjoyed that. That was nail-bitingly close. And the good news is that you have all leveled up now. With that, so we will start you. I know it's not exactly rules as written with long rests, but certainly for the few levels I am just leveling you up, so we'll sort that out at the start of the next session. You are getting closer and closer to your reward. Well done, everybody. And thank you very much to all the viewers. Thank you very much to all the subscriptions tonight as well. It's really great to see them sort of being resubscribed. It helps us out immensely. We're not on tomorrow night because it's Monday night, but unbelievably, we are on Tuesday with our masked 3-hour game, and then episode 3 of Untold Chronicles, The Smoke. So have a great day off tomorrow, and we will see you all on Tuesday. Once again, thank you very much for watching, donating, viewing, and playing. See you all very soon.